A warning to all about to listen to this podcast. The following audio may contain spoilers and inappropriate language. However, this podcast will definitely contain some bad opinions. You have been warned, but for now, let's get on with the show.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Anime Abroad podcast. I'm joined by Dave.
Hello. I'm
Ravi.
waving.
Hey.
And Cassie.
Eh.
And I'm
Meh out of 10 would not join.
and I'm your host, I guess. I was informed 10
Yes.
seconds ago that I would be the host of this episode, and I'm Tom.
Hello, Tom.
And today we're going to do a seasonal wrap-up video, but I can't remember what season we're wrapping up. Was it
Winter 2015.
It's winter.
Winter, yeah. So just get the warnings out of the way now. We'll be going into details on the series we finished.
Possible spoilers.
Most likely definite spoilers.
Yeah. It happens.
Off the top of my head, shows that will be spoiled.
I'll know a fucking zero. It's happening.
Old Nose Zero,
Death
Parade.
Parade.
Parasite, Yona of the Dawn, Boss Ange.
I haven't finished Parasite, by the way. I'm only 10 episodes in, so you just let me know and I'll take my headphones off.
Ravi's doing that as well.
I'm in the same situation.
We
Okay.
might actually. I'll tell you what. Let's only discuss about halfway through then, so you guys can join in.
Yeah, sure.
No, we can discuss halfway through and then you can finish it.
Yeah,
since
we'll
it
just
is part of
take
the
our
season.
headphones off or whatever, and then you can
Okay.
flap your arms wildly.
I'm missing stuff. Shirobako.
I have finished it, but I will not go into spoilers. And on top of that, I don't really think it's a show you can spoil all that much. So
Yeah, no, it's.
I haven't really got that much to say about it. So I guess I could start off with that if you want.
You start off with that while I look up the rest of the shows we're going to spoil. I know there's more than that.
Maria the Virgin Witch.
Yeah,
Maria the Virgin Witch.
Loser.
I mean, we've spoken about Assassination Class. Mind you, that's not finished yet, is it?
No.
Oh,
There's
Ravi,
no real spoilers in
you
that.
finished Task Class.
It's
Yeah,
not
it was
finished.
just
Durarara.
caught up to it. It's not
We'll
finished.
go over Durarara a bit, but I think we are probably going to do a full episode for that when Season 2 finishes its second half.
Yeah.
So I take it none of you guys have actually seen Shirobako then?
No.
No, I
No,
watched the first
no.
episode. I
It
watched the
looked pretty
Tokyo
cool,
Drift
but I
episode.
never watched it.
Tokyo Drift episode.
Yeah, I've been waiting for it to finish.
Did
you know
they
what?
keep that up?
No,
Did they keep that up?
it happens 2 or 3 times during the show, and I still don't know. It might have been explained during the show, but I can't remember off the top of my head who that guy was in the other car, and I don't know why.
He worked for IG. He worked for Production IG, didn't he? There's a giant IG logo.
It
on the
definitely
side of
had
his car,
IG written on the car
Yeah.
somewhere. Yeah. Although
which is pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
I'm not quite sure why
What
they
studio
were
made
racing,
that?
though. I guess I can't remember. The plot of the show is very, very simple. It's 5 girls who make a really shite anime in school, and then they all decide that they want to go and then work in the animation industry, and all 5 of them do end up working in the animation industry, and the main character, who is called Miyamori, I think they call her Meowmori, right? So
You watched 24 episodes and this is what
there
you
are
don't remember?
so many characters in that show. It's so hard.
Yeah.
I remember
I can
people.
attest to that. That's one of the things that put me off.
Yeah, it's absolutely huge cast of characters, and a lot of them. But you see them you see near enough every character in near enough every episode as well, which is kind of crazy. All the girls go and get different jobs within the animation industry. Miyamori, the main character with the orange blonde hair, I can't remember. I can't remember. I can remember. It's blonde. Or brown. I don't know. I'm confused. I don't know colors. And she becomes like a.
Did you not go to kindergarten or?
No, we have nursery. She becomes a project manager. So basically, she's in charge of like running in between the different what would you call them? Like different sectors of within the animation studio. So like she'll go in between like the keyframers, the sound engineers, and she'll relay messages back and forth and stuff like that. Another girl was a voice actress, and there was another one who was. I don't really know what she did. She just kind of researched things and showed up about halfway through. And she ended up working for the animation studio as well. One got into CG, and the other one was an animator. And it's pretty much just showing what it's like to work within the animation industry, which is my main draw to the show, really. Because I've never seen an anime actually tackle what actually happens within the animation industry before. There might be some out there, of course, but I've got absolutely no idea what they're called. And it's just...
There was one episode of Paranoia Agent.
Do you know what? I think I heard somebody mention that, yeah. Was that any good?
They've done that a few times before.
It was actually the best episode of the show, too.
Oh, right. Was that, if I'm not mistaken, if I heard correctly on that one, was that not more of like the stresses of working in the animation industry, or?
Yeah, that was more about the distresses and more about like the pressure put into it and how like one little mistake lead to a lot of other mistakes.
Yeah, that happens a lot in this show. Basically, if one sector of the animation studio is not doing it doesn't work to things on schedule, then it can fuck up everybody else's job, and it just makes everything else a nightmare. Like within the show, it follows a studio called Musashino Animation, and within the show they animate 2 different series. The first one I forget the name of, but the director of the show didn't get the story frames done, I think it was. He couldn't write
the storyboarding.
The storyboarding. He couldn't get that done for the very last episode, and he didn't get it done right up until the last minute. And that can obviously, not knowing what the last episode's going to entail, every other section of the animation studio is obviously going to suffer for that. Again, I've not really got that much to say on it. It's just a really comfortable slice of life, and I would probably say it's probably my favorite slice of life. It's a really, really fascinating watch if you want to know what goes on within the animation industry. Now, how true it is to how it actually works in the animation industry, I don't know, obviously, because I haven't got a fucking clue on that one.
I think it leaves a lot of the darker side of it out. I was reading an article on Crunchyroll about how fucked up the animation industry is.
Yeah, I might have mentioned this before about that one guy who worked him, he committed suicide, but I mean, I think it'd be fair to say he worked himself to death because the animation studio that he was working for kept pressurizing him to hit insane deadlines, and
I mean, it is actually quite similar to some game studios, especially in the past 10 years, I'd say, in the West, but I'd say way worse. No, they're worked to death and they're paid nothing.
Yeah. And that was another question that was brought up in the show. Especially, I would probably say 2 of the girls in the show, they definitely get a lot more screen time than the other 3 do, and they kind of go through that whole self-conflict within themselves. It's kind of like, I can make a living out of this, but sometimes I just don't see any joy in it whatsoever. But in the end, obviously, because it's a nice feel-good slice of life kind of show, they do find their reason to carry on working and what have you. But that's one thing I really would have liked the show to have explored, and perhaps it could actually happen if there is a season 2, because there wasn't really an end goal. Like, the girls wanted to remake the anime that they made in school, and I guess you could make a second season on that. I'd also kind of like to see how their personal lives are affected, working stupid hours of the day and working extremely long hours and pretty much having no time off. I would have liked them to have explored that a little bit more. But they didn't. But still, at the same time, I found it an extremely enjoyable show. And I've got to say, I'd probably recommend it to absolutely anybody. It's comfortable. It's definitely one of those shows where I've heard people go, I couldn't help but fall asleep watching it because it was so damn cozy. And not to say it's boring. It's complete. It's really.
That's absolutely perfect.
It's really, really fascinating. So I've not really. Again, there's not really much to say on it. The music was not bad. The animation and visuals were pretty damn good. Which, obviously, if they weren't very good, that would be a fucking shock considering the subject matter.
That would be very funny.
Yeah. Characters, there's a ton of them, but they all do get enough time, I guess, to dig into them just a little bit. The more fascinating ones definitely get a little bit more time, obviously. I'm trying to think of anything else now. Yeah, the story was fine. The music was fine. There wasn't really any standout pieces. I wasn't a big fan of the OPs or EDs. Characters, great, yeah. So to give it the 3 Rs, I will probably say I would rate it I'd probably give it like an 8 or an 8.5 out of 10, because it was just a really cozy watch. Recommend, yeah, absolutely. If you're into like slow slice of life stuff, I would recommend it. If not, probably not for you. And would I rewatch it? Yeah, I guess I would. If there were a season 2 coming out, I might need a refresher to reintroduce myself to the 5 million characters that they have. So, yeah, that's pretty much my view of Shiro Bako. What do we want to go on to next?
I mean, what you said about the
any
show,
questions, I should say.
like, makes me want to watch it, definitely.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal watch. It's not very
Also,
exciting
shout
or
out to that
anything
commenter who commented on us not talking about it however long ago it was.
I always forget his name,
Yeah.
but I know his name's got a D in it, and D something. Yeah, so I've finally spoken about it. The main reason to answer, I remember the comment now that you've mentioned it, because in our award ceremony we didn't mention
Things that were
Knights of
still ongoing.
Sidonia or Shiro Bako, so they were still ongoing, and provided there aren't like another 10, 20 shows that come out this year that are just as good, I would definitely consider Shiro Bako an early contender to be in the discussion of top anime of 2015. At least a mention anyway. Who knows, if we watch enough shows this year, we might even have a top 10 list this year, not just the top 5. So, plenty more room to
definitely
argue.
gonna have more this year than last year because I only started really watching shit
definitely.
partway through last year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think half of us even like watched most of the shows for most of the seasons
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
I mean, we
I was kind of
definitely
slow to pick up on a few things too, like I only watched No Game No Life last month or whatever.
Yeah.
I would have voted for
I
that
mean-
one pretty hard on the yearly thing if I'd seen it then.
It made our list
Yeah.
because I think
You and Ty.
Ty pushed it for his.
So I push for it as well.
Ty
Yeah.
is his number one, and I had it pretty high on my list. It's definitely top 5 for me as well. But-
Yep. I was going to say, actually, before we carry on with this conversation, is there anything you guys have watched that has ended this year that you think might be in with a chance, like good anime of the year contenders? Would we all say Death Parade?
I would.
Yeah, well, I think we'll get to Death Parade last. for that reason.
We definitely got to save that for last, I'd say. I
but Death Parade,
think
really.
Death Parade is the only one all 4 of us have finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, Old Noah. Ravi hasn't
hasn't
seen
watched
Old Noah.
Noah.
Sorry.
Ravi hasn't seen
no.
Old Noah.
Don't. Sorry, no, I'll save. I'll wait.
We will convince you not to by the end of this.
I'm still mad. I'm still mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think all 4 of us have got one show each that we watched that no one else watched.
Yeah,
I just
think
remembered
so.
the last one that I was missing. The anime that we're going to spoil will be Psychono.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
because
House Raised
Ravi saw that.
Yeah, I mean, there's no real spoilers for
I
it.
didn't finish it,
But we will be talking about it. So.
oh, by the
Whether
way,
or not
guys,
we spoil it is up to Ravi, but just
Because
a
I-
warning, just in case.
because I jumped into it too quick. Cassie, can we now please have our question of the week?
Fuck, I didn't find one.
Alright, we'll do another anime.
How long has it been?
Let's do another anime.
What
and then
was
see
your
if she's got
first
one.
alcoholic drink?
Oh,
Implying.
Maybe we should find a different one. You've never had any
I
kind of
think
alcohol,
mine-
Ravi?
mine was definitely
Or
a.
maybe I had a spoonful of brandy when I was little.
Yeah, Ravi, my boy.
That just reminded me. Okay, I know what mine is now.
Yeah,
Funny story.
that actually changes mine.
It was kind of. I'm not quite sure where these old timey remedies came from, but when I was very young, I wasn't too long. No, not quite. I wasn't too long out of hospital. Actually, no, it could have been. Point is, I was teething, and my mum and dad went out for the evening, and my auntie was looking after me. And by the time they come back home, I was up and crying my eyes out. My mum and dad walk into the living room, and there's my auntie rubbing gin onto my teeth, onto my gums.
That helps,
because
though.
apparently it will numb the gums. Does it actually
Yeah.
help?
Because whenever my wisdom teeth hurt,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
take
like
some
any
scotch
sort
and
of
I
alcohol that
drink
numbs
it.
you.
Any excuse is good enough for you, isn't it, Cassie?
When it does help.
But drink that I knew I'd drunk. You know, I took it upon myself to drink. I would probably say Smirnoff Ice. I think, or it was one of the girly drinks anyway. Smirnoff WKD. Yeah, I think. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Very
Same.
fitting.
Yeah,
Same.
very fitting indeed.
Yeah, if we're
And
counting
Cassie?
like shit we were doing as children, then it'd be scotch. Because apparently when I wasn't feeling well, my dad would put scotch in tea and add some honey and give me that. That was pretty good. Drink I had on my
pretty
own would be
based
mead.
as well.
I bought a couple bottles of homemade mead from the Vikings I was doing some shit with back in the day. And yeah, I popped 2 bottles of those open and got really drunk by myself.
Wait.
a second.
You don't
Are
even
we just going?
actually
Are we
wanna
just
know.
going to skirt over that to the Vikings? I was hanging out
We
with.
just don't
Have you
want to
seen a
know.
Viking
Definitely
reenactment
not
group?
going to let the Vikings go.
I've heard that story before, but I never heard you drop that line in there. So I was hanging out with these Vikings, right? Like, what?
These Vikings I used to know. Like, I used to hang out. I don't associate with myself with a rape and pillage crowd anymore. That's behind me.
They were recently conquered, so we're no longer in contact. Okay.
I guess the first drink I actually drank to get drunk would be like some kind of orange alcopop. I can't remember.
Oh, to actually get drunk, I just kind of tasted that. Like the first time I ever got drunk, I think I was drinking a mixture of white wine and Carlsberg. So
What the hell is that?
Yeah.
Carlsberg, it's an extremely horrific tasting beer lager.
Why were you mixing
disgusting.
wine and beer?
Because I was at a house party and I was 16 years old.
Okay.
People were just handing shit. That was the first time I ever got drunk, the first time I ever tried a cigarette, and the first and worst hangover I've ever had in my fucking life. I barely remember that party. I remember one guy. I remember guy.
He kept doing it.
He poured red wine into a pan, like stuff you cook rice in or something like that. He poured red wine into that. A heavy metal tune came on, and he was circle headbanging as he was trying to drink the wine. You got to admire the guys. You got to admire the guy's commitment to it. But there was red wine everywhere. It was a mess. Anyway, that was the opening question, and now back onto the anime, I guess.
So if we alternate between stuff that a group of us has watched and stuff only one of us has watched,
yeah, sure, cool.
Let's.
I mean, so what next?
Let's have a light discussion.
What else have we watched as a group?
I was going to say, let's have a light discussion about Parasite.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll state right off the bat, I'm very sorry for putting... When I watched the first episode of that, I was like, this is fucking dumb. I think, what was the way I put it? It was like, I'm not really interested in watching some sexually awkward teenager going on adventures with his magical talking hand. That shit got dark really, really quickly.
Yeah, that's what I said, Dave. Wow. I don't know. I think you should keep watching it.
Yeah.
The mom episode.
Yeah,
that's brutal. That was brutal.
Wow. I was like,
that anime goes places.
Places you don't expect, and it
was pretty good.
It just starts off quite lighthearted.
See, I found the middle point, after the first half ended, I found a lot of that. It didn't feel like it was doing enough, but the end picked right up. The ending was great. The last 4 episodes or so.
Yeah. It's the first 2 episodes to kind of introduce you to the concept, quite lighthearted. There's the masturbating and penis hand joke taking place there.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Then it gets really fucking heavy.
Oh yeah. I don't even. Again,
which they handle it quite well. Actually, I thought
they did. I have to agree, they did. From what I've seen so far, they're handling it really, really well. Especially what happened at the school around about episodes 9 or 10. Have you gotten that far, Ravi?
Yeah, you really gotta hand it to them.
Yeah, but. When that thing went down at the school, I was like, God damn, they took it up another level. Instead of 1 or 2 people dying, let's just kill everybody. Why not?
The action in that episode is fucking great. When he's jumping off the roof and when he throws that rock.
Yeah.
Top notch.
Do you know what? If I had to say one thing I do have a problem with Parasite, and it is only a minor complaint, it's the animation and the visuals. Have you guys noticed the CG? It's just for background stuff, and it's just for people walking.
Yeah, there is I'm not going to spoil it too much, but right near the end, Cassie, the crowd of people.
That crowd.
They're kind of the hostage. Yeah,
I never noticed it really explicitly, so I guess it wasn't that.
Oh, it's really bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
it's really bad.
The 2 circumstances I noticed it was just a couple of students walking down the street, and then I kind of want to say episode 9 or 10 when the school was evacuated and they were all walking down the stairs. It was just a shot from outside of the building, just a shot of the guys walking down the stairs from the outside of the school, looking into a window, and it stuck out so bad. And the thing is, again, it's only just a minor complaint.
I can explain it.
Yeah,
I can explain it. No, I can explain why it looks so bad. Especially,
well, I mean, there are a lot of reasons why things look bad.
So the reason it sticks out is because CG has a lot more frames of animation than actual does, so you notice it.
That's a good point, though. Yeah,
when the crowd they had of CG characters, they were all like shifting slowly, like side to side and turning their heads and stuff, which you never see in a crowd of like animated characters. So it just looked really wrong. It just did not look right. It stuck out a lot. And I think you can do things like robots in CG, but there's way too much. Weird. There's way too much uncanny valley stuff going on with human characters that are CG. Can't. It's very difficult to get faces right, and it has been done. Like if you look at the Naruto games, and also the new Guilty Gear game, does some really fucking crazy stuff with CG.
Fate Stay Night as well. I'm thinking of the.
I don't think there's any.
There was two things I could remember in Fate Stay Night. Unlimited Blade Works I'm talking about. There was a scene where people were walking to school. Again, I remember it. I remember noticing it and knowing it was CG, but then I was like, that's not too bad. I can handle that. And there's Caster's skeleton dudes.
Yeah, I guess so, but that's more kind of like props, kind of like robots I was talking about. It sticks out way more.
I guess that makes more sense.
Anyway, back on topic.
Back on topic. Yeah, animation overall isn't too bad, but it's not exactly top tier or anything like that.
One thing I kind of didn't like, and it's not really a fault of the animation, it's just the idea of it in general. A lot of the fight scenes I find boring as fuck because it's just these flailing fucking limbs going like this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't find it that exciting a lot of the time. Like, in some cases, they throw other things in that are kind of cool, but for the most part, it's just kind of...
Yeah, and then just, like, one limb comes out of nowhere. Like, you don't really see it coming, and it's not clever at all. It just comes.
Then they're dead, and they win. Like...
It's stuff that would look a lot better in manga, I imagine.
Yeah, still images would probably look cool, but also the final boss thing was really cool.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, you guys will have no idea. Yeah. I mean, the character is in the OP and he's in the image off Annie chart, but you don't really know what's going on. Actually, did you see the smiling dude, take on a bunch of Yakuza, like halfway through? And he gets like his arm cut and a few bullets in him, but he's
yeah.
Did I see that? I don't think I've seen that guy yet.
Yeah, he's around the.
It just like happens in one episode.
Yeah, that's the setup for the final boss.
Ah, right, okay. The romance side of the show is really piquing my interest because I thought it was all really dumb. Strange.
Like, it just...
Why?
There's some really dumb stuff in that department.
know if I want to call it dumb just yet.
I don't know, it's just, it feels so awkward, and I guess it's high school, but it's like, I didn't even think they were, like, actually a thing, and then shit happens, and they clearly are, and you're like, oh, okay.
Right, I'll just say, major spoiler warning, and I'm prepared to know this now, because I get the feeling, Ravi, I'd recommend you take your ears out,
take your ears out.
In case you don't know. Does
ears removed 3, 2, 1.
Does the girl eventually find Murano? Does she find out about his arm, about his hand, about Migi?
I won't say so.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Not in a meaningful way.
Dave,
it's kind of hinted that she has an idea.
You're only 10 episodes in, right? You're not 12?
10 episodes in, yeah.
Does the thing happen in episode 12? I think Ravi's good to come in now.
Go on, Ravi. You can put your headphones back on now. He's not even paying attention. He's on YouTube. I can see in his glasses. I can see in his glasses. He's on YouTube.
Oh well, we'll keep going. It's implied that she knows that something's wrong with him, especially after his mum dies.
Oh yeah, she's already been saying that.
And he gets like superpowered. Like she understands that he's different. She understands that he's not quite human. I would say.
But yeah, it doesn't explicitly.
But I don't think she. I wouldn't say she ever really fully understood.
So she does. She has not spoken to
explicitly.
Migi, then.
It's not explicitly said that she knows that he is part parasite.
Yeah.
But it's very possible that she suspected or had figured it out. It's not.
All right, he was on Skype for a second. Then I've just seen it in his glasses, and he clicked off it again.
He's got to have the little window.
Well, let's keep going. We might as well just cover Parasite while Ravi's gone, because getting in back is taking a while.
Do you want me to take my headphones off?
Yeah. Okay, we'll just fly through some of the stuff. All right. Okay, so it's just me and Cassie now. What do you think of the sex scene?
I'm just gonna black up.
Wow, you're an idiot.
No, I already heard about it. I already heard about it. I already knew about it. Let me just. I'm just gonna blast some heavy metal. Just. Okay, here we go. You good to go.
So yeah, the question.
Okay, what?
It felt like it came out of the sex scene.
Yes.
It came out of nowhere.
Yeah, no, that's what I was like.
Like
there's that whole moment of desperation
so they went from holding hands.
But...
I get it, yeah, and also it's old. He's the manga probably covers way more than the actual anime does.
Yeah, I don't know, it wasn't that bad, but it didn't feel justified enough. I don't know.
Yeah, the big issue with it is it just.
I feel like if he started it would have been more justified too. But she just walks up to him and says, "Hey, my house is empty. You want to come over?" And it's like, I feel like that was already kind of implying something.
I would say I think it would be the other way around. I think her instigating actually makes it a bit more. Because we see a lot more what's going on with him and what he's feeling than what she's feeling.
See, I don't know. I would have understood it more coming from him because he's thinking, yeah, I'm going to fucking die, you know?
Well, I think she picked up on that.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. There's quite a lot of stuff left unsaid when it comes to their relationship.
Yeah, that's kind of what
which is why
didn't sit right with me.
Yeah, it's why it kind of jarred when all of a sudden it's very explicitly.
And yeah, and I remember reading the title of the episode too, because it's
yeah, the episode is
it has the word sex in it. I was like, there's no way they're gonna fuck in this episode. And they did.
Yeah, so that's the big talking point. Goto is fucking cool.
Yeah, I loved that. Oh man, it was so cool. I was actually this is really, really cool.
Yeah. The whole scene when they're storming the building with the SWAT guys taking them down, that was great.
That episode was where it started getting really fucking good again, and then the last few just kept being good. And
what did you think of the final episode? The kind of Miggy's okay, see ya. And then kind of comes back to save
I thought it made sense. And I like how Miggy evolved. Miggy was my favorite character.
I would agree with that.
Huh? Yeah. You said you'd agree?
I was saying I would agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, because I didn't like the main character a whole lot, and I didn't like Murano a whole lot, but Miggy was cool. Most of the other characters were cool.
If just hit stop, export that, and then start recording again, and me and Niall will fix that, no problem. Okay. This is the time where I play the technical difficulty music.
I really hope you're actually just recording that.
Did you press stop? Right, okay, he's got it. So yeah, Liverpool won. That was nice.
All right, I'm recording again.
All right,
Should
okay.
we count in him? It might be easier since we're putting it.
No. I'll fix that.
If you guys.
Yeah. I'm an audio god now. That's fine. I can fix anything.
Niall's gonna hear that and put everything back on you.
I
will tell you how good I am. I managed to figure out how to stop the background noise with Cassie's audio before Niall did. That's how fucking good I am. I am amazing.
Tom, was there anything else you wanted to talk about the ending of Parasite? Or
is that why you couldn't help me unmute my mic before?
No. I think we can.
I don't think we need to go into it. You could go into a lot about it, but I think that might be better when we have more people to talk about it with too.
I was going to mute Skype again and start listening to some more Venom.
you were singing while we were talking.
I meant to. I'm going to keep that in. I think. Pray down your souls to.
Well, we reacted to it, so that would be. We're taking it out.
Hey, Dave's having a good time.
Okay.
So, do you guys want to give it the 3 R's? And Ravi.
Wait, no,
sorry,
hang on. No, because the last thing I recorded was me talking. I guess I'll get us back in. Okay, guys, we're back. Sorry about that. Just a bit technical.
Oh, okay.
But just to wrap up Parasite really quick. We can do our 3 R's now, I guess.
I don't rate a show that I haven't finished yet, so I don't know if you 3 guys want to go ahead and do that. You 2 have finished it, obviously, so you can go and do it.
I would give it 8 out of 10.
Wait, hang on a minute. Wait, there's something I was actually meaning to ask you to talk about, but I didn't. The music. What do we think of the music?
I like the OP.
It's very hit and miss.
Really like the OP.
I hate the OP.
I like the OP
no,
too.
I think you're supposed to hate the OP because it's so
disgusting emo
I like it.
shit with auto-tune.
I hated it the first time I heard it because it's so bad, but then it grew on me because it's
Cassie,
so bad.
this is where your metal elitism should be coming out and saying, no, this is wrong and we should do everything we can to stop it. But no, you like it?
That band is absolutely amazing. It's auto-tuned.
People make me sick.
Metal with
I feel like it's supposed to be ironic. I think that's the thing that keeps me from disliking it.
It's also the band's named Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh yeah, so that's in there.
God, Mort.
Yeah. In fact, they've done a lot. They did they did ED1 for Hunter x Hunter and something else I was looking at recently. OP2 for
something was for
Brynhilde in the Darkness.
Oh, that one for Brynhilde was pretty fucking fantastic. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that wasn't auto-tuned, so...
Yeah. I also wanted to talk about the music within the show. Well, maybe not talk about it, just give it make a brief comment on it, because...
Some of it was okay.
Some of the orchestral stuff in this anime is some of the best music I've ever heard in my life. Like, no joke, honest to God, it is phenomenal. Then the action kicks in, and it's like...
Yeah, I was going to say, there were points I remember disliking the music.
I'm like, what?
And I can't remember specifically what it was, but...
All the action is just, like, cringeworthy when you listen to it.
Yeah, I hate that stuff, but as I say, the orchestral stuff is phenomenal. Tom, unlike you, I love anything that's weird and wonderful and people doing something different, but just because it's different doesn't make it fantastic.
It's,
Not to say you're wrong if you like it.
The best way I can put it is... So a lot of the fight scenes have a dubstep background, which to someone that enjoys dubstep is fantastic because dubstep goes really well with fight scenes. Problem is dubstep is quite divisive.
Yeah.
I do like some dubstep, but I more prefer some of the more mellow kind of stuff. So the heavier dubstep, if there's any way to put a heavy dubstep,
this is the kind of
it's pretty good.
That is like
I would
not worth listening to.
Tom's
so this is exactly what I mean. Even within this Skype call, we've got mixed opinions on dubstep, where orchestral music and rock music, I mean, come on, you'll get 10 in 1,000 that'll say, oh, I don't like orchestral battle music.
Yeah.
So it's just, while I really enjoyed it, and they're ballsy for putting it in, especially in a property as big as Parasite, you know, it's like a 20-year-old story, revered manga. It was ballsy, but I wouldn't personally have done it. I loved it. I loved all of the battle music in that series. But I mean, it definitely takes away for people that from the action, for people that don't like dubstep, and it's just not worth doing.
You know, I wouldn't say it was all that intrusive. To be completely honest with you, it didn't put me off enough to the point where I was like, oh god, this scene's completely ruined by it. Which, as I've always said within a soundtrack, as long as it doesn't take away from the scene that I'm watching, I'm fine with it most of the time, but I couldn't help but notice it. I didn't like it, but it didn't detract away too much from me.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It wasn't
there you go, that's the problem. The fact that it's dubstep...
Oh, well, what Ravi's just said in the chat, that's fine. I can deal with that.
Okay,
Did you not listen to me before? Audio God, right here. I can fix
Everyone pull your shitty mics out again.
Dave will fix it, don't worry about it. Now then. I'm causing a paedophile now anyway, let's just carry on. So yeah, your 3 hours for Parasite. Actually, just before, very quick, I'm not going to rate it, but I am going to recommend it, absolutely, and I am going to carry on watching it. I think it's so anime, really. It's the best way to put it. It's just so anime. I love it. It's pretty damn good. So if you haven't watched it already, and you skipped over the spoilers there, yeah, watch it. It's great. Tom?
Yeah, 8 out of 10. Would recommend with this and that, but I probably will rewatch. If I can find it cheap enough, I'll get it on Blu-ray.
Cassie?
Like, I feel like I should give it an 8, but I don't know if I actually liked it as much as a lot of 8s I've given, just based off of the fact that I took like a 2.5 month break between watching it, which really kind of just killed the hype for me, which also might be why I didn't enjoy the midpoint so much. But yeah, it's probably worthy of an 8 rating. It's really good. Like, there's not a whole lot wrong with it, and I would recommend it.
I'd say the start, some parts in the middle, and the end are between 9 and 10, and then at lowest it's like 6 and 7. So it definitely feels like
it doesn't flow perfectly, and it doesn't stay perfectly engaging all the time, but it's still very good. But yeah.
Ravi, have you got any final comments to throw on though?
I mean, I only watched the first 12 episodes, but there's a reason that I didn't watch like all of this season. It was mostly just because the pacing was a little off for me. I just wanted it all at one go rather than... Especially
once you get to episode 12, the best stuff that happens in the middle is kind of the Kana stuff, I'd say. And the school attack. I'd say it definitely slows down a lot until the last... after episode 12. Yeah. At least the way I remember it.
It builds up to it, though. Like, it's relevant stuff. It's just, it doesn't feel right when you're watching it for the first time, I guess. It's like, you don't really know what it's all for, and... or why people are doing things, and this is kind of... But yeah, it's really good.
Alright then, so what do we want to go on to next?
I could talk about Maria the Virgin Witch.
Oh, please do, please do.
Yeah.
I'm interested.
Okay, so, I mean, I'll just start off with a brief intro to it.
I watched 5 episodes, I think. I
mean, so, you both know that it's about this virgin witch who I think in the 3rd episode, she is cursed by Michael, the Archangel Michael, because she's interfering too much in the 100 Years' War between France and England. She tries to prevent the battles from happening, and actually she's doing a pretty bad job because it just draws out the whole thing. Yeah. But that, like, subjective issues with that aside, I have to. She's like,
let me jump in on that very quickly.
Very idealistic. Yeah.
That was kind of funny. That actually, I think it was episode 4 after the last battle she interrupted before Saint Michael showed up. It was really strange that because I thought, wait, hang on a minute, what exactly is it that she's doing wrong? And then again, this might be a small spoiler.
I don't care about spoilers,
21 who hasn't seen it.
So I'm just gonna.
But yeah, and then afterwards, because the soldiers hadn't been paid, they then decided to go and rape and pillage the nearest village, and it happened to be the one, pardon me, that Mario lived closest to, and she had a couple of friends in that village as well. I was like, oh, right, okay, I see what happens now when you stop people from fighting. The soldiers get a little bit rapey, and they want more gold.
Yeah, basically what the Church in the Heavens is conveying is that by interfering in mortal affairs, you're, preventing the natural course of things happening. And like I was saying, she was drawing out the war. Like, there were no victories, so they were still opposed at the same level that they were before and after. And the whole show is about her trying to, contest her faith between not fighting and, conveying that to the Church of the Heavens and the Church of the Earth, or Church of the Land, or whatever they called it, the one here on Earth, trying to get her out of the way so that battles could actually happen. And that was partly politically motivated, and partly religiously motivated, and partly just personally motivated by the person who was heading the whole thing, the whole religious operation, Saint Bernard, or one of those guys.
He was the blonde one, not the gay one, right?
No. He was... Those people actually don't matter at all later. Yeah, I dislike that fact. But,
yeah, bring me more of the gay priest. That was hysterical. I wanted more of that. That was great.
Yeah, it was...
For comedy purposes only.
One of the, I think 20-year-old, 30-year-old guys. And he just, had... At the end, he had these, revelations. Spoilers. He gets killed by Archangel Michael because he becomes basically a, what's the word?
Heathen?
Heretic. Oh. Yeah. And the end of the show is very hammy. It ends basically on, Maria was right. They shouldn't be fighting, and if there is fighting, then Maria should be involved with it because she's part of the Earth. Blah, blah, blah. Archangel Michael was wrong. Nothing really fun happens.
There's something I really want to ask on this one, and this is very, very heavy spoiler. So, Tom, I don't know if you're interested or if the listeners are interested, but please do skip ahead. Was it true that she was raped halfway through?
She was... It strongly implies rape at first, but almost immediately after that, in the next episode, or I don't actually remember if it was the same episode and she was raped in the beginning. She actually just loses her powers, but it was not actually penetration. It was just the guy using his robotic hand.
There's a robotic hand in this?
Excuse me?
Or it wasn't robotic, it was mechanical.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah. That guy is actually based on a historical figure.
And that was Galfa, right?
Yeah, Galfa.
That guy just...
He loses his arm to a cannonball, and then he gets another arm from the church or something.
A robotic arm from the church.
Yeah. I actually got spoilers of this, not because of the manga or anything, but because...
Hey, by any chance?
That guy is based strongly off a guy in history.
I was ruined on the whole rape issue by A. And I was actually kind of curious if it was rape, then how was it dealt with? Was it in a mature way? Did they do a good job of it? Or, but now that you said it wasn't actually rape, he just fingered her, I guess?
Yeah, I guess.
So that's how far we were saying, but we in a previous conversation, like, where do we draw the line here? Is anal okay? Is it not okay? The last time we were talking about this.
Yeah, I remember these conversations.
So a prosthetic arm doesn't actually count.
Getting violated.
According to the Church of the Heavens, no, it does not.
All right, okay.
I mean, by extension, that means dildos are good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they must be perfectly fine. Yeah. All right, then.
So, I mean...
That's a really weird concept.
Overall, about the show, it gets really boring in the middle.
So it had a fantastic concept and...
Yeah, the concept is fine, and like the way they presented it is fine, but, I mean, from the get-go, it's presented as a story tale, which it totally isn't, because the story tale would actually just make children go to sleep before anything important happened.
The main thing that I thought looked cool about it when I first saw it was I liked the animation style. I thought all the characters were really cool, and also I saw a couple weapons in the fight scenes, and the fight scenes looked great.
Yeah, they were pretty realistic as well.
Too minimal to actually like make your viewing of it worth it.
Because they looked kind of realistic, which is the big thing that really got me. I was like, "Holy shit, dude, that's great!" Like there were like legit shield walls and shit, and it didn't look overly.
The problem is they really reuse a lot of things. Like anyone who has watched the show will distinctly remember one specific scene that is repeated over and over of an English archer just like loading up his bow and firing. That happens multiple times, and it's the same guy with the same expression, with the same exact physical movements.
Oh boy.
And then from when I was watching it, the few battle scenes that I got to watch, I do actually remember that. And then on top of that, the fight scenes don't last very long before Maria decides to summon a dragon or an ogre. I think there was a giant lion at one point.
Man,
I don't know, was that the show? Probably.
The concept sounded so much cooler before you were like, yeah, she was just fucking everything up and making the war drag out longer.
And then, like, the episodes like 9 and 10, the show got somewhat more exciting again. And I was like, oh, I'm excited to see how this ends now, rather than, just suffering through it.
I can't wait for this to be over. The last two
episodes were actually incredibly boring and really bad. There's no better way to say it. They were bad.
So I remember when we were previewing the show, if I remember, it was the same night we recorded the award ceremony.
I think so.
Part 2 of that. And yeah, I remember me and Tom talking about it and saying like that this does look really, this could either be extremely hit or extremely, it could miss way off the mark or it could hit really, really well.
The thing is, it sounds like it's missed in a way.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was more. We were talking more
the way that the English archer just like completely didn't hit his mark at all.
We were more thinking so much about the more of the sexual, the sexual aspect of the show and how that would go.
That really fucking. You
were like apprehensive that it was like going to be immaturely handled.
Yeah,
but it wasn't. It was. Like the rest of it was poorly handled.
No, I would disagree with that. From what I watched in the first 5 episodes, when the law was finally laid down, it said if you lose your virginity, you will lose your powers as well. The amount of stupid even before that as well, stupid sex jokes, like one of her familiars didn't have a penis, and then they set out on a mission so Maria could go and find out what a penis looks like to give the familiar a penis, and that wasn't funny. That joke got old after 5 minutes.
Entirely.
That's pretty bad.
After you finish watching.
Yeah, and as I say, once Saint Michael lays down the law and says, okay, if you lose your virginity, you lose your powers, then this other witch shows up, just like, oh, we need to get you laid, girl. It's fantastic. You will love this whole sex thing. It's amazing. And I'm like, no, this isn't funny, especially after that episode with Saint Michael, because that was a really intense fight scene, and that's when I got really excited for Sorry, that was episode 2, and was it episode 2? I don't know. Point is that scene anyway. That was what got me really excited for the show, and then, as Ravi said, then it just was like a snooze fest. A complete and utter snooze fest. And I can't say I'm too shocked to find out from you, Ravi, that it carried on exactly like that.
Yeah, no, I can't,
give it the 3 R's?
Too positive about it.
How was the music, I guess?
The music was fine, but it was incredibly repetitive. Like, it just had the same things over and over.
All right then.
So it was
one thing.
Yeah.
One thing I would say, it from the episodes I watched, it seems heavily influenced by Berserk.
I remember you mentioning that, yeah?
Yeah, heavily influenced by Berserk in like the way it handles medieval stuff, and also it sounds like the way they handle rape as well seems quite Berserk, which is to say historically accurate. But Berserk is like a monolith of anime, well, manga specifically, but anime to a degree, and it would just pale in comparison, I think, if I was to watch it.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't seem like something to watch. Ravi, you 3 hours?
3 hours, I would give it a 5.5, something like that. Rewatch, definitely not. I don't even want to try to use it to fall asleep. And recommend, no, there are lots of better shows out there.
Even fall asleep now.
Yeah.
Apparently that's more pleasant.
Like, even
Dave,
if you're looking for a
3
medieval
hours?
theme, it doesn't fulfill it properly.
Yeah, I did. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10, which is an extremely high score for me.
I think Altnoa's next.
Hey,
here we go.
I need a helmet. I need a helmet.
The way I see it, the way I see it, I think we've got old Noah's going to get vocal in an angry way, and then Death Parade is going to get vocal in a positive way.
Yep.
So I was thinking we could probably save those two for last.
Just a moment. Ravi, you're keeping your headphones on because we're going to spoil it. We're going to talk an immense amount of shit about it, and then you'll never want to watch it.
It's not that bad.
But I do want to watch it.
It's really not that bad.
Stop trying to talk him into it, you. All right, but no, I agree with Tom. If we could save those two till last, that's probably best.
I mean, those are the big ones. Those are definitely the two biggest.
So, I guess would Psychonaut be next then?
We've got Psychonaut and
Cassie.
Cassie, Yona and Don.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We'll go to Yona then.
The Dawn.
Yeah, we'll do you. Yeah.
Oh, you want me to go first?
Yeah, if you want. Yeah.
I think Ravi does.
If you're doing Yona, then I do Cross Ange afterwards. Just because let's continue this.
Yeah, Tom and I each watched. I watched Yona and he watched Cross Ange. Is that it? Ange.
I'm saying Cross Ange.
Okay. We decided we're gonna trade, and at some point I'm gonna watch Cross Ange and he's gonna watch Yona as like a little, I don't know, different taste type thing. But yeah, Yona the Dawn. I don't know. It's about like this girl who ends up fucking. Her, I don't know how spoiler can I get. Like, if it happens in the first episode, is it a spoiler?
I've seen the first episode. She's waiting to her cousin, which is great. And according to you, Cassie, not that bad, was it? What was the quote?
Yeah, but okay, whatever. Her dad gets murdered. I'll maybe leave like the murderer out. If you want to start watching it, you should. It's better than I expected.
No, I know who it is.
I'm just saying in general for people watching. Like, I don't want to spoil it too much, I guess.
Right,
in
sure.
case.
I guess so. I mean, it
is
is episode 1,
but yeah, and she ends up going out to find these 4 dragons, as she's told by this fortune teller that the 4 dragons will like save the kingdom or whatever, or they'll help her, they'll protect her, whatever. 4 dragons are I don't know, man. I don't do reviews.
Wow.
No, I don't really know how to talk about it. Like, what order do people normally go over things in?
Well, say what you liked about it.
Say what you liked about it. The thing I liked about it is it kind of broke the female character stereotype where normally they're just kind of like this useless bitch the entire time. And it gets really annoying after you watch about 6 of those shows. Like, you just get really sick of it. And so, Yona actually, she does start off like that, but it's the way she changes throughout the series that I really enjoy. She gets really, really, like, spunky and, like, really, like, she's eager to actually, like, pick up a weapon. She's gonna do good, and she's gonna help the kingdom. All that. So that's...
Did she go as far as, like, from one extreme to another? I just kind of picked up on the end of what you were just saying there, so if I'm wrong, tell me to shut up. So she goes from, like, the annoying, useless bitch who can't do anything, but then did she just go to the exact opposite, as in badass or Genki girl?
No, kind of, like, just badass, like, in a sense.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's still...
You have my interest.
She's still kind of like a little girl, like, people point that out. They're like, there's, like, one point where she's, like, walking along a cliff edge, and she's scared as fuck, and she's, like, crying. But she keeps going, and she's like, no, I have to do it, because, like, well, I don't really want to explain all that. But, like she justifies it, and it's that she overcomes it. Whereas before, she was just kind of like a little bitch.
She's Bruce Wayning. She's Bruce Wayning.
Oh yeah, and like when it starts off, she's with her bodyguard. It's like her childhood friend, and he's kind of the one covering everything for her. And when she kind of first,
Hawk.
He's my
good.
Favorite I like
character.
that character a lot.
Best boy.
Plus, he uses a pole.
That's another reason why he's best boy.
Or a halberd.
But yeah, like, he's the only one taking care of it first. And, like, the first time she kind of starts turning a bit is, like, when he's in danger. And she's like, I have to do something or he's gonna fucking die. I can't just stand around and be useless type thing. So, I don't know. Like, I really like that about the show. I thought that was great. Because it actually kept me watching it for more than, like, 6 episodes and getting bored. Oh, the plot pacing was something I wanted to mention. It's kind of a spoiler. But she's getting these 4 dragons, right? And you assume that's what's going to happen before the end of the season. So she has 3 dragons at the last episode. And in the last episode, this dude, literally, they're at a campfire. He walks out of the woods and goes, hey, yeah, I'm the yellow dragon. I'm hungry. Yeah, I'll join you guys. And I was like, did you just shove that into the last episode? Did you have to make it fit real quick? Like, did you fuck up the pacing or something? It felt really awkward and forced. Yeah.
That's interesting. That's very similar to Old Noah. We will get to that.
What else is there? The music was okay. It wasn't extraordinary. The first OP I actually didn't like. The second one is like kind of cheesy and really unexpected and doesn't fit, but I like it. It grew on me. I laughed a lot at first, but it grew on me. But it's really it's kind of subtle, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Yep.
Anything that you didn't like about it? I mean, the first episode I watched, I did not
really.
like
It was
at all.
like, it's something you could like pick on things if you wanted to, but I wasn't really watching it as like a serious thing. You know, like I was just watching it, hoping it'd be just sort of enjoyable, which it was. I mean, like there's little like things in the plot, like you could pick apart like how they did things and be like that would never work or whatever. I don't care. I was watching it for fun.
How good was it in terms of like animation and visuals, like background art, animation? Was that all okay?
I liked it all, but
nothing to complain about.
It wasn't extraordinary. It didn't like blow my mind.
I
wasn't like, oh, this is visually phenomenal. It's good.
Alright, like.
Yeah.
It seems heavily Korean themed. Like all the names are
I think
Korean,
it is. It makes sense.
Which is cool. You don't see that much. See a lot of Chinese influences. Very little Korean, which I'll appreciate. I'm watching that.
It sounds interesting enough. I think I might pick it back up.
I really hope it
I only
gets a
watched
season
the first
2
episode.
because like it closes well. Like it ends fine. Like
it did get a season 2, right?
Unless this was season 2.
Well, this was part 2.
It was a 24 episode.
That's what I thought
series,
it was.
But that's probably what you're thinking.
Oh, I thought it was in the to be announced section of AniCharts. I'll check that out. You carry on.
Hopefully, because the way it ends, like it's satisfying enough of an end, I guess. Kind of like it's not like a huge cliffhanger where you're going, oh my god, next season when? But there's so much to go off of that it needs another season to explain everything. Like
yeah.
Alright, so I've got good news and bad news. Yona isn't getting a season 2. But Yori is.
Wait, Yori is getting a season 2?
There's quite a few interesting ones in here, like on the to be announced chart.
Yona does have like an English dub coming out in that. Maybe it'll get some more popularity and that'll help. I don't know.
Steins Gate, Noragami.
Also, Dave, I'd really dig that shirt. It's a good look.
Oh, thank you. Am I showing you too much of my man chest hair here?
No, I like the Elvis look.
Thank you. Well, no, we were supposed to be. I don't know, for some reason I felt it appropriate for what we're doing after this show to wear a suit. So then I put my jacket on before, and I was like, it is way too fucking warm in this room to be wearing a jacket. So yeah, I just decided to unbutton the shirt. I was like, let's play cool. So the 3 R's.
I give it like a 7, I guess. It's pretty good. Recommend. I mean, if it sounds like something you'd be interested in, yes. If you're not into shoujos, no. Like, rewatch, I don't know, maybe.
I like that. It's kind of like I've got the Dave shit 5 out of 10 harem club, and you've kind of got like the it's okay 7 out of 10 club.
Like I really liked it, but it's not.
Would you
like objectively really good? I guess maybe I don't know. Like it's pretty good. Like I thought it was for what it is, but it's not like. Like, it wasn't as good as Parasite, and I wouldn't say it was as good as El No Zero. And by far not as good as
sure about that?
I'm busy.
Are you quite sure about that?
Yes.
My opinion of El No Zero is different.
It's wrong. It's wrong, is what it is, Cassie.
Also, are we going to have to make this 2 episodes? Because we still have Cross and Saikano, is that right? Death Parade, and Alt Noah.
I will edit. I will edit. Here's what we'll do. So this is for the listeners. We will carry on. If this entire recording goes beyond 2 hours, I will cut it here. And then, because what are we on now? Aside from the technical difficulties, we're up to an hour now. So it depends what I have to cut and dead spaces and stuff like that. It all depends.
Coming out.
Yeah. So if this runs beyond 2 hours, I will probably split it here. So if we do split it here, thanks for listening. And description, Facebook, Tumblr, my anime list, all that stuff. Right then. So welcome back to the Anime Abroad podcast.
Hey, thanks for listening.